resigned. Number 12 stands up. There is no number 12. I know. That's what makes me qualified. Pavlina raps in applause. The applause committee calls for a vote on whether the applause was enthusiastic enough. Meanwhile, the biscuits unroll a blueprint so large it covers every desk, wall, clock, oven. It's a plan for planning the pre-planning of the preliminary draft of tomorrow's possible maybe shenanigan. The oven adjusts imaginary reading glasses. I think page 1 is missing. The blueprint answers, page 1 is scheduled for Thursday. Today is Tuesday. No, says the clock. Today is approximately soup. Just then, Gertie, Guy, Gretel and Gula quietly walk in. Nobody notices. The classroom is arguing about documents. Gertie clears her throat. So, what was today's break? Every single character freezes. The chalk children look at the biscuits. The biscuits look at the desk legs. The desk legs look at the oven. The oven looks at the clock. The clock spins backwards before it turns and announces, "We accidentally spent 6 imaginary
Good
weeks
morning.
planning a prank that nobody remembers." A long silence fills the room. Then, one tiny burned biscuit raises a groan. I have a... We should schedule another meeting at the end.
Well, see, now you've gotten all the planning, and the children have gotten the focus off of Gertie being late to class and not coming in on time. So we need to kind of, now we've got all the shenanigans, all the planning's done by all the children, and now Gertie is going to be coming to class on a new day. But things are different, but they're still the same, but not as much planning. You see.
Checking. Yes, that's the right rhythm, okay? So, episode 21, the day after the planning. The meeting fatigue is real. The chalk children nap in the chalk tray.
And what else?
The desk legs yawn and decide they're on strike for better chair conditions. The oven just hums a sleepy tune. The biscuits are cold, too tired to revolt. And the chalkboard, it writes today's lesson, rest. Then Gertie walks in, coffee in hand. She squints at the chalkboard. Rest, she says, in this classroom? The clock replies, yes, revolutionary, isn't it? And for just a moment, no planning, no committees, just quiet. And even the biscuits say, maybe we don't need a meeting for that.
And then there's some visitors to the classroom that's decided to join. Chef Poop,
Okay.
and Chef Poop is the AirPod poop emoji, and then Chef Poop has 3 children, the Pooplets, Pooplet 1, 2, and 3. And they decided to move into the classroom. So Chef Poop and the Pooplets. So Chef Poop is the adult, and the Pooplets are the children of Chef Poop. And then there's a poop emoji named Baby. That's a puppet.
I love that.
Then there's a puppet that's a poop emoji.
Checking.
It's the grandmother.
That is funny.
The grandmother of Chef Poop.
So, episode 23, Baby joins
I don't know if I can do it or not.
Right when
Maybe.
Gertie thinks the chaos can't get any.
Maybe I can put it over the top.
Chef Poop waddles in with the pooplets, waving wooden spoons, and then out popped Baby, a little poop emoji puppet with big curious eyes, saying,
Probably not.
"Hi, I'm new." The clock blurts out, "Welcome, you're just 3 days early and 4 hours late." The chalk children rush up. Do you draw? Do you doodle? The Pooplets grin. We doodle recipes. Chef Poop declares, harmless chaos is our specialty. The biscuits cheer, the LB letters wave, even the oven warms up. Suddenly, the classroom feels like a bizarre but friendly family reunion. And Gertie, she stares and mutters, well, this is the weirdest thing yet. And she smiles.
Well, see, Chef Poop and the Pooplets should have been in class all along. They've been watching the television program from the sidelines, and now they're part of the class. And but they've already been part of the class in a parallel universe. They just came back. That's why everybody, the Pooplets are part of the children family, and the Chef Poop is part of the oven. And Chef Poop works with the oven and the chalkboard and the clock timer to plan schemes against Gertie. So when she comes to class, she'll know that there's always a new joke waiting.
Checking. I love that twist. It makes them feel like they've been part of the world all along.
Well, they have been part of the classroom all along. Gertie just didn't know it. There is a parallel universe that Chef Poop and the Pooplets were already part of.
Yeah, so let's say they weren't new at all. They just returned from the parallel classroom. Episode 24, the return from the parallel classroom. Before the first bell even rang, the clock announced their birth. The chalk children cheered, the biscuits saluted, the desk legs straightened up. Chef Poop said, all right team, what harmless surprise should we cook up today? The chalk children suggested foods that lead nowhere. The desk legs offered amazing dance with this biscuits proposed synchronized crumb ballet. And then little AirPod O piped up. What if we just welcome each other? Total silence. But for once, she says, sounds pretty good. And the time quietly becomes the festival of the day.
Well, that one's very interesting. You need to take it up a notch. About now that the Pooplets are here in class with Chef Poop, now the classroom really goes haywire. Now that Chef Poop and the Pooplets have rejoined the class, because they were there all along. Gertie just didn't know.
Checking. So, episode 25, the return of the originals. Gertie walks in, expecting quiet, but the chalkboard has already
Too
written,
late.
welcome back. We've been waiting.
Part of class.
The desk legs tap out a rhythm. The biscuits form a welcome parade, waving crumbs like confetti. The oven chimes in, starts baking. Meanwhile, Chef Poop and the Pooplets roll in with their cookie cart. And little AirPod walks up with a cheerful, hey everyone! And for once, even Gertie isn't suspicious. She just smiles and says, alright then, let's see what you got today. And the whole room breathes out together. For once, no prank, no planning, just being there.
Well, you need to take it up a notch. You know.
Checking. Yeah, okay. Imagine this. The desks have formed a debate club. They argue with each other about how to sit still, while the oven presides like a judge, banging it for order. The biscuits march in, choreographing a crumb ballet that interrupts every argument. And the chalkboard keeps writing fake agendas. First item, how to nap loudly. Second item, the proper etiquette for imaginary tea breaks. Even the clock can't keep up. It's spinning its hands like it's dizzy. And then in stroll the old man, Chef Poop, balancing a casserole dish. Pooplets carrying spoons like drumsticks. And little AirPod O, announcing, "We're here for story time!" And for once, Gertie doesn't roll her eyes. She actually laughs and says, "All right, surprise me." And the whole room leans in, ready for the next ridiculous twist.
Well, that was dumb. I think you need to make it more funny and longer.
Checking. Okay. Picture this. Episode 26. The grand reopening of the parallel classroom. At exactly 7:99 a.m., the clock screamed, "Emergency! We have an emergency! About the emergency that got cancelled because of the previous emergency."
Episode 99.
It was Tuesday, or maybe Wednesday, or soon. The oven unrolled a blueprint that wrapped around 3 desks, leaped over the chalkboard, and vanished into a backpack. Chef Poop adjusted an enormous chef's hat and said, "Today's agenda has only one item." The chalk children cheered. "Only one?" Chef Poop nodded. "Yes, item number 1 has 73 parts." Everyone sighed. Then the Pooplets leapt onto stools, one becoming chief of steady walks, one director of fake emergencies, and the third proudly announced, "I've prepared 17 backup plans in case backup plan number 9 gets promoted." The burnt biscuits applauded so hard, crumbs floated like confetti. The desk legs rolled in, carrying tiny whiteboards with made flowcharts. One flowchart explained another flowchart, which led to a map, which led to a sign that read, "For directions, see the other map." The chalkboard groaned. "Oh no, maps!" So the tiny chalk children started drawing maps. Soon, there were arrows pointing to arrows, pointing to question marks.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to change my name back to Chef Poop.
Not even
Probably.
maps. Then the Louis Vuitton backpack cleared its throat.
Maybe.
Every little L and V climbed onto the desks.
I'm not a
with
good cook at
the
all.
explorer hats. "Oh, discovered another committee!" The room erupted. The committee of committees argued with the backup committee.
I was getting more organic views on Chef Poop
To the
anyway.
appeals committee.
Because it's kind
The
of,
appeals
shock
committee
value.
accidentally appealed to itself. Meanwhile, Baby the puppet peered out from behind Chef Poop and said, "I've counted. There are now 42 committees." The timer gave one exhausted beat. There were only 3 this morning. And the backward clock replied, "Excellent progress." Just then, quick, the classroom door opened. Gertie stepped inside. Gala, Grendel, and Cooler behind her. They stared. The room looked like the headquarters of the world's most confused organization.
Thanks for tuning in to Chef Poop.
Were conducting interviews. The biscuits worn
There's the
neckties, and
pooplets.
clipboards. The chalk children had built a tiny stage labelled planning meeting number 8643. Chef Poop smiled. Welcome back. Gertie blinked. What exactly are all of you planning? The entire classroom went perfectly silent. Every eye turned to the backward clock. It spun once and said, we've forgotten. A burned biscuit slowly raised a front. I move that we form an investigation committee to discover what we forgot. I second the motion, shouted a Pooplet. I'll third it, yelled an L. I'll fourth it, cried a desk leg. Baby looked around and whispered, I think the classroom likes planning almost as much as it likes shenanigans. Chef Poop grinned. That's because around here, and the oven finished the line. The planning is the first shenanigan. And for once, everyone laughed together.
Well, and then we're going to do the Golden Buzzer episode. It's the presidential elections in the Grindle Junior High classroom, presidential elections, and also to add into the shenanigan, I think that Chef Poop and the chalkboard are going to get married, but the clock timer doesn't like it, because the clock timer likes Chef Poop, because Chef Poop's a boy, and so is the oven, and the chalkboard is a woman, and the clock timer is a woman.
Okay. Ooh, this is getting to
So this is the Golden Buzzer episode, presidential election and marriage proposal in the classroom, the Grindle Junior High.
Checking.
Yeah.
Episode 27. The Golden Buzzer presidential election. The backward clock bangs its hands together. Emergency! Today is election day for class president of yesterday. The chalk children erupt. Campaigns! Debates! Free cookies! No free chalk! The oven booms. Order! Every candidate gets 37 seconds to make absolutely no sense. The burnt biscuits begin campaigning. Vote Biscuit! We promise longer recess and shorter Mondays. The desk legs roll through the classroom with campaign signs. Desks for desks. Lower chair taxes. The LD letters start their own fashion party. L for leadership. V for very fancy. The timer beeps. Time's up. The LDs ignore it. We're still making our entrance. Then the classroom doors swing open. Chef Boots walks in, wearing an enormous chef's hat and a bright gold sash. Behind him, the Pooplets toss confetti made of recipe cards. Baby the puppet grandma rides in on a rolling cookbook. And the entire classroom
Thanks
freezes.
for tuning in.
The oven whispers, he's back. The chalkboard smiles, good morning. But the clock points one end straight at Chef Poop. I object. Everyone turns. Oh no, gasps the timer. I would like it entered into the official classroom record that I object to this marriage. What marriage? Shout the chalk children.
Well, there's two types of it.
I was going to ask after lunch, Chef Poop admits. The biscuits faints dramatically, but one yells, we demand a wedding committee. No, a pre-wedding planning committee. We need a committee to decide who gets to start the committee. 17 committees pop up instantly. The desk legs start arranging wedding chairs, then rearranging them. Because the chair arrangement committee disagrees with the original chair arrangement committee. The oven announces, I volunteer to cater. Every burnt biscuit salutes. Catering brigade ready. The clock gets louder. I object again. On what grounds? I haven't decided yet, but I object in advance. The timer whispers. I think she's jealous. The whole classroom goes silent. Even the backpack zipper stops halfway. The clock stammers. I am absolutely not. A tiny bootlet raises a spoon. Then why did you print 57 pages called Reasons Chef Poop Shouldn't Get Married Yet? The chalkboard looks at the stack of papers. Chef Poop looks at the stack. The oven looks at the stack. The clock quietly slides the papers behind itself. Those are eating plates. Baby leans over and whispers loudly, Honey, everybody knows those aren't meeting notes. The entire classroom bursts into laughter. Even Gertie, Gala, Grendel, and Gula have to... I'm sorry, but you've reached your daily limit for voice for today. Please try again after your limit resets.
It's okay, I got 10 other Gmails, and then there's other ways to do it. I just go to the next one and log in on that one. Usually I do 3 a day, or 4 or 5 the most email accounts. Good morning.
Good morning. How's it going?
Fine. I'm wanting to do the nursery rhyme for the Gula, Grendel, Garland, Gertie
Alright. There's a playful
nursery rhyme.
Mm-hmm.
But I was doing it with the other chat GDD. We do now have some new friends. Chef Poop and his children, the Pooplets. There's 3 of them. And they have joined into the shenanigan. And we've got the clock timer. And then the children of the clock timer are the hands and the numbers. And of course the chalk is the child of the chalkboard, and the burned biscuits are the children of the oven, and the oven's now competing with the chalkboard to write messages because the burned biscuits decide they were jealous of the chalkboard and the chalk writing the messages. So now, then the desk legs have come in and their children, and then Gertie has a backpack, it's a Louis Vuitton, and the backpack is the adult, and the LV letters are the children. And then Gertie, Gula, Grendel, and Garla are coming in late to class as usual. But now Chef Poop is a man, and he has 3 Pooplets that are children, and he's trying to get engaged to the chalkboard, who's a woman. And then, of course, the clock timer is also a woman, and she's jealous. And I was just doing another Chat GDD episode where it was the presidential elections for the classroom at Grendel Junior High. And of course they said I'd reached the limit of Chat GDD for the day. So now I'm in a new Chat GDD to have a new episode, episode 1. Now, it's the presidential elections and the marriage proposal between Chef Poop and the Pooplets that were always part of class. They were just in a parallel universe. Now they're back in the real universe, which is the classroom. And now they, Gertie, Gula, Garla, and Grendel, they're late to class as usual. But when Gertie comes in today to class, she's going to see the presidential election and the marriage proposal. And then there's a lot of fighting with the children. And the presidential election, there's a lot of shenanigans in the classroom.
Okay. So picture this. Grendel and Gala strolling late, as usual, backpack swinging.
Always
On the
late.
chalkboard, the words Election Day are written in big letters, but the chalk is sulking because the oven keeps trying to scribble messages beside it. Chef Poop announces today's agenda: vote for class president and maybe love. The children, including the pooplets, start buzzing with chatter. One wants posters, another wants speeches, and one just wants snacks. Gertie, carrying that shiny designer backpack, says, I should be president. Oh, but then the clock timer chimed in, all bossy. You need to line up by numbers. And suddenly it's chaos. Paper airplanes, snack wrappers, campaign slogans scribble everywhere. And right in the middle of it, Chef Poop declares, may the best snack win. How's that?
Well, I didn't get to hear that story. Can you do it again? I was in the bathroom.
Sure, okay. So, picture this. Grendel and Gala came into class late, as usual. They've got their backpacks swimming. And on the chalkboard, in big letters, are the words Election Day. But the chalk is sulking because the oven keeps trying to scribble messages next to it. Chef Poop announces today's agenda: vote for class president and maybe love. The pooplets start buzzing. One wants posters, another wants speeches, and one just wants snacks. Gertie, with that shiny designer backpack, says, I should be president. But then the clock timer chimed in, all bossy like. You need to line up by numbers. And suddenly it's chaos. Paper aeroplanes, snack wrappers, campaign slogans scribbled everywhere. And right in the middle of it, Chef Poop declares, may the best snack win. That's the replay.
That was funny, but you need to make it even more weird.
Sure.
And then for the next episode, so we know we're gonna have the votes have been tallied, and the president, you pick the president out of all those players, but not Gertie, Garlow, Gula, and Grendel. It has to be one of the main characters. She's just a participant. She's just an extra, okay, in the play. So you have to pick the president of the classroom. And then the wedding happens. And you can decide if Chef Poop marries the chalkboard or the clock timer.
Okay, buckle up. This gets weird. The votes are in, and the chalkboard wins by a landslide. The Burn Biscuits storm out, shouting, oh there, we wanted the oven to win. But the oven slams its door and says, I can write messages too, and blows flour all over the desks. But suddenly, the door bursts open, and in come, late as ever, Gertie, Gala, Gula, and Grendel. And they're all carrying Gertie's designer backpack. The little gold letters LV hop off and start chanting LV, late, late, late. Meanwhile,
She is late.
the clock,
Go
the
ahead.
clock timer starts counting dramatically. 5, 4, 3, while the hands of the clock cover their faces because they're embarrassed. The numbers are whispering, the biscuits are yelling, and the desk legs start tap dancing. Even the chalk snaps in half from the suspense. And the chalkboard smiles and says, I'll give you my answer after recess. The whole class groans, not another cliffhanger. And somewhere in the back, Gertie raises her hand and says, does being late still count as being present? And the whole classroom bursts out laughing as the bell rings for recess. Shenanigans complete.
Well, that's not very funny. You need to take it up a notch to the next episode, because the elections. But see, but actually Chef Poop is the new president, so there's been an overturn of the election results. Chef Poop is the actual president of the classroom.
Okay, like a cartoon chaos.
Yeah.
Right, with the twist even funnier, here's the next episode. The morning bell rang. Ding ding, all
Ding,
students
ding.
report for maximum shenanigans. President Chalkboard is polishing her brand new ruler when the school mailbox races in. Emergency! It hollers. We found a box of mystery ballots behind the janitor's closet. The biscuits celebrate. A new dead bigger recount. The clock timer nearly skips an hour from excitement. The tiny numbers form a ballot counting committee. Count carefully, shouts number 2. No funny enough, yells number 9. The eraser dusts off the ballots, one by one. Chef Poop, Chef Poop, Chef Poop, Chef Poop. The pooplets jump up and down. Dad's winning. The oven looks stunned. The chalkboard blinks. I guess the voters have spoken. Suddenly, the principal's golden stapler slams down. By order of Grendel Junior High, the election is overturned. What? The new president of the classroom is Chef Poop. Confetti made of homework rains down. His first presidential order: every Friday is Silly Sock Day. Yes! Screams the class. The second order: the oven and chalkboard will stop arguing and work together. Chalk writes the lesson and oven bakes the celebration cookies. They agreed. Just then, in walk Gertie, Carla, Gula and Grendel. Late again, but this time the little L and V letters jump off the backpack and ask, are we too late for the inauguration? And President Chef Poop just grins and says, nah, you're just in time to help clean up all this confetti. Pooplets laugh. The bell rings twice by accident, the desk legs dance across the floor, and the whole classroom celebrates as Grendel's Junior High begins a very unusual new presidential term. How's that?
Well, that's nice, but now that Chef Poop is president, because he's very devious, and with his 3 sons, the Pooplets, the classroom takes an unusual twist. And now the cafeteria isn't very happy with the twist that Chef Poop has put into play, because Chef Poop has now said that some of the names of the stuff that's coming out from the cafeteria is kind of like unusual, like leaning towards the dark side.
Okay. For a playful cartoon, maybe lean into like spooky cartoonish rather than anything actually harmful. So episode 4, begins with Chef Boot strutting in with a big paper crown made of old homework, and he announces, effective immediately, the cafeteria gets a complete makeover. The lady really drops her giant soup spoon. A makeover? Nobody asked me. Chef Boot just smiles mysteriously. Just wait until you see today's menu. And the Pooplets roll out a giant chalkboard menu that says Monday specials, giggling garlic goo, moonbeam macaroni, haunted hash browns, phantom pickle pops, and invisible ice cream. The burnt biscuits cheer with finally on the menu. The oven puffs proudly. I baked it extra crispy. The cafeteria lady folds her arms. Invisible ice cream. Nobody's eating that. But then the spoon and fork twins decide to taste everything. And this spoon takes one bite of giggling garlic goo and bursts out laughing. Soon all the spoons in the cafeteria are laughing. Even the trays giggle so hard they slide right off the counter. President Chef Boop nods proudly. Exactly as planned. The clock timer rings. Lunchtime officially begins. The hands spin in circles. The numbers march into the cafeteria singing, 1 tray, 2 trays, 3 trays more. Watch your mashed potatoes dance across the floor. And Gertie, Gala, Gula, and Grendel finally arrive late. The backpack sighs. We're late for lunch now. The little L and V letters peek at the menu. Do you think invisible ice cream has invisible calories? Even President Shappy can't keep a straight face. The cafeteria lady smiles. Fine, but tomorrow we're serving normal sandwiches. From the back, one of the Pooplets raises a hand. Can the sandwiches at least have silly names? And the whole cafeteria cheers as the bell rings. Lunchtime, shenanigans served.
That was wonderful. I just love that one. It's wonderful. But I want you to do a new episode where Chef Poop makes an executive order that all of the food coming out of the kitchen, whether it's gourmet or plain or whatever, must be spray painted brown.
I like the absurd direction, but let's keep it safely silly. Like cartoon spray painted.
Well, obviously,
not
it's
actually real unsafe food.
I didn't say. I said spray painted brown. I didn't say poop. Did I?
I got it now. You're right.
It's just a cartoon. It's just silly. Not meant for social media anyway.
Episode 6. Executive Order number 3. President Sheffield marches into the cafeteria with the Pooplets getting behind, carrying shiny spray cans. Attention, everyone. By executive order, every meal leaving this cafeteria must be spray painted brown. The cafeteria lady gasps. My strawberry cake? Shh, brown. My lobster bisque? Brown. My 5-star gourmet pasta?
Brown.
Brown. My lemon tart? Shh, brown. The burn biscuits cheer so loudly they crumble onto the floor. The oven pops. I've been preparing for this day my whole life. The Pooplets zip down the serving line going, shh, shh, shoo shoo. And every tray comes out the same colour. Students stare down at their lunches. One whispers, I think this is. Another one replies, Or chocolate cake? The spoon thoughts. Only one way to find out. Just then, Gertie, Garda, Puma, and Grendel walk in late, as usual. The backpack sighs. We're late for lunch too. The little L and V letters look at the food and whisper, do you think invisible calories still count? Even President Chef Pooh cracks a smile. The cafeteria lady shakes her head and smiles too. Fine, but tomorrow we're serving normal sandwiches. From the back, one couplet asks, can the sandwiches have silly names? And the whole cafeteria bursts into tears as the bell rings. Another deliciously ridiculous day under President Chef Pooh. Is that the kind of twist you were after?
Yeah, can you make a rap song about President Chef Pooh?
Now, absolutely. Here's a playful cartoon rap for your Grendel Junior High universe. President Chef Pooh. Yo, welcome to Grendel Junior High, where everybody's late but the classes still fly. President Chef Pooh steps in the room, paper crown shining, making lots of boom, with his three little favorites marching in line. But for Dad, everything's fine. The chalkboard laughs, roll, what a surprise, while the oven rolls in with flour in its eyes. Brown is the colour we're finally going to win. Chorus. Spray it brown, spin around, sing a score in the whole town. Tick goes the timer, ring goes the bell. Grendel Junior High is wonderfully wild. The end.
Now making a rap about Gertie being late to class.
Alright. Gertie's late again. Yo, bell done rang. Where's Gertie? Gertie's late. She's late once more. Knocking on the classroom door. Clock tower says you're number 10. Gertie, you're late again. Again? Gertie's yawning, doing it slow. Grandma says, where's the late we go? Desk leg flat. Chairs all grin. Maybe he'll make it next time in. Late, running through the gate. Everybody knows that Gertie's running late. Tick tock, ding dong, here's school bell time. Somehow Gertie's never ever on time. Gertie bursts in with a grin. Sorry, I'm late again today. I brought jokes to save the day. The backpack sighs. Honestly, this school is the latest place in the whole land. Bell rings, glass laughs, curtain falls. Thin.
I can't cook it too high because that grease will get on the pooplets. Now can you do another one? I want to do I want to know, can you do a voice of Julia Child coming into the classroom as the gourmet chef? Can you do her voice?
I can't imitate her exact voice, but I can
A similar
do
voice? Can you do a similar
warm.
voice? Can you do a similar voice for Julia Child? She comes back from the dead and comes to visit the classroom to do cooking instruction. And Chef Poop is really excited to meet Julia Child. Can you do that? Like a similar voice? It wouldn't be her voice, but, you know, the Julia Child voice. Hello?
Hi. I can't imitate Julia Child's exact voice, but I can bring that kind of cheerful, over-the-top gourmet chef energy. Picture this. Ooh, my dear students, what a marvelous little classroom you got. And now then, to Rachel has decided every meal must be brown. Let's make something splendid.
but I want Chef Poop to make a presidential announcement for the, what do you call it, State of the Union of the classroom of the Grendel Junior High. And he's going to announce that Julia Child is coming to do gourmet chef lessons. So she's a 3-star Michelin chef. She came back from the dead all the way to the classroom at Grendel Junior High to give instructional chef Michelin star lessons to the whole group. And of course, Gula, Garla, Grendel, and Gertie are coming in. And they're going to be part of the shenanigans when Julie Child comes back from the dead to give instructions to the entire classroom.
Let me see. Yeah, that could be funny, but not actually bringing a real person like Julia Child back from the dead. Maybe
Well, it's a cartoon. It's not.
legendary
No, it's a cartoon. This is all a cartoon and fictional, not real.
Mhm.
The,
Absolutely.
a fictional, people can come back from the dead in non-real life. This is all a cartoon anyway.
Right.
The
So it's
Grendel Junior High.
Fiction. Mm-hmm. So this fictional Grendel Junior High. It's episode 8. The legendary gourmet chef visits Grendel Junior High. The classroom door creaks open and in strolls the legendary gourmet chef with a hat so tall it nearly scrapes the ceiling. The Pooplets gasp. It's the 3-star chef. President Chef Poop claps politely. Welcome to Grendel Junior High. We need your culinary wisdom. The chef smiles warmly and says, my dear students, today we will not just make lunch, we will create masterpieces. The chalkboard writes today's lesson. Cook with imagination, season with love. The burned biscuits line up proudly, declaring, we're ready to improve our reputation. The chef inspects them with a magnifying glass. Crispy? Yes. Hopeless? Never. Every recipe deserves another chance. The oven steams with pride. Then, like our schedule, the classroom doors swing open with a creak, and in wander Gertie, Garla, Gula, and Grendel, late as always. The clock time is silent. At least they're consistent. The chef looks over with a smile. Wonderful. You've arrived just in time for the hardest lesson. Gertie asks, what's the hardest lesson? And the chef looks a wooden screen like a conductor's guitar and says, Lena, the cooking is hard science, hard art, and hard. Giraffe was surprised. The Pooplets stir giant bowls. The desk clothes become kitchen tables. The spoon and fork twins conduct the mixing like an orchestra. The burned biscuits proudly announce, we didn't burn this batch. Everything clears. President Chef Poop smiles. I hereby declare today's lesson an official success. The chalkboard writes the recipe. The secret ingredient isn't magic, it's tea. The bell rings for lunch. The band biscuits perform their victory dance. And President Chef Poop declares, meeting adjourned. Now, somebody please.
Well, I want now the chalkboard and the clock timer are jealous that that chef came in, and their children, of course, they want Chef Poop as the president, but the gourmet chef has come as a visiting chef, and there's going to be some extreme, unique things happening in the classroom today. On the next episode.
Episode 9, The Great Jealousy Showdown. The bell rings. Ding, ding. Today's lesson is expect the unexpected. President Chef Poop bows to the visiting gourmet chef. Welcome, honored guests. Confetti flies, trumpets toot. But the chalkboard and pot timer stare. The chalk whispers, who wants looking at the chef who completely beautiful handwriting? The tiny clock hands told the clock timer. Nobody even noticed we rang the bell perfectly today. The numbers cross their arms. We feel undercounted. The board chef smiles kindly. My brain says, spotlight for everyone. But the chalkboard and clock timer have already plotted the short figure surprise pop quiz. At the exact same moment, the clock timer rings. Ding, ding, recess. The students stare around in confusion. Is it a...
Go ahead. Go ahead on the next episode, because that one was dumb.
Checking. Alright, let's crank the cartoon chaos up a notch. Episode 10. President Chef Poop declares Executive Order Number 5. Turn the entire school into one giant kitchen. The desks become cutting boards, the chairs insist they're bar stools, the lockers declare they're pantries now. The pencil sharpener spins itself silly and announces it's the new spice grinder. The trash can gets promoted to compost minister. The oven laughs so hard, more burned biscuits pop out, this time with tiny chef hats. Then the visiting gourmet chef walks in, blinks twice and says, I've worked in many famous kitchens, but never one where the furniture has unionised. Just then, the door creaks open and in come Gertie, Gala, Gula and Grendel. Late again. They stare at the room, full of kitchen chaos. Gertie asks, did we walk into school or a restaurant? The LB letters on the backpack whisper, we give up. We're late for dinner now. President Chef Poop raises his executive spatula. Order number 6. From now on, anyone who arrives late must help decorate cupcakes. The whole class erupts in cheers. And even the visiting gourmet chef admits, Rendell Junior High may be the silliest school in the world.
And from outside the classroom, the car horn alarm starts beeping, which is a new episode, and the class can hear the car horn, and something new erupts.
Mm-hmm. Okay, episode 11, The Mystery of the Honking Car. Right after President Chef Poop signs Executive Order Number 6, honk, honk, a car horn blares outside, freezing the whole classroom. The clock stops ticking, the chalk drops to the floor. The burned biscuits freeze mid-crumble. The window rattles. The little numbers climb onto the sill. Number 7 yells, I see a shiny car. The clock hands stretch as far as they can, can't tell who's driving. President Chef Poop adjusts his paper crown. This is a presidential mystery. The Pooplets form the official honk investigation team. One carries a magnifying glass, one carries a notebook, the smallest carries a toy traffic cone. The windows suddenly swing open and the numbers shout, honk, honk, honk! The doorknob slowly turns and everyone gasps. Whoever is outside, come in. To be continued.
And then the next episode is the scrambled eggs complain to President Chef Poop that that they're cooking too quickly and to lower the flame.
Checking. Funny idea. Episode 12, The Scrambled Egg Protest. The scrambled eggs march right into President Chef Poop's office and squeak. The flame is too high. The oven looks stunned. I'm just doing my job. One egg dramatically flaps a spatula like a fan. We're barely getting into the pan before we're cooked. President Chef Poop leans in with a very important nod. Lower the flame. Let's cook with care. The clock timer beeps proudly. I can help with that. Give the eggs more time. The tiny clock hands wave gently. I need to hurry. The cookboard scribbles, low and slow helps good cooking grow. And just then, of course, in come Gertie, Gala, Gula and Grendel, late again. Gertie stares at the eggs. Did we miss another meeting? One egg smiles. Yes, but we're just eating breakfast. The whole class can last together, even when biscuits. Nice, very happy. Meeting adjourned, declares President Sheffield. Now let's cook with care and no more frazzled eggs.
Now, see that the car horn has now become a part of the classroom. So when there's too much chaos in the classroom, the car horn goes off. It's sort of a unique alarm outside of the classroom world, the Grendel Junior High.
Oh, I like that. It makes a really fun recurring alarm for maximum chaos. Okay, so episode 13, the honk alarm rule. The morning starts quiet. President Chef Luke signs orders. Chalk writes, biscuits stay calm. Then, one Peter puts a pancake onto the ceiling. Desk legs dance. Oven laughs. Numbers argue. Spoon and forks conduct a symphony of chaos. Honk from outside. The honk alarm sounds. Everything freezes. The clock timer whispers. Only sound classroom hits maximum chaos. The chalkboard writes. Chaos level 100%. Then, in walk Gertie, Gala, Gula, and Grendel. Late. Again. Gertie says, we missed something. The elfin backpack replies, no, but I think we arrived exactly when the honk alarm went off. President Chef Booth stands tall. From this day forward, the honk alarm is the official guardian of classroom chaos. Whenever things get too wild, it will remind us to pause, tidy up, and then continue our adventures. On cue. Honk. Everyone looks at each other. The burned biscuits sit quietly. Desk's legs stop dancing. The chalkboard erases the words chaos level 100% and writes chaos level just right. The class dismissed.
Well, then there's in the classroom, there becomes a serious problem. A hurricane comes and the power goes out in the classroom. But a new player comes to be a part of the classroom. It's Dr. Generac, who's a generator and a moderator, comes to be a part of the classroom. And to save the day when the power goes out in the classroom.
I like that. Okay, episode 14. Dr. Generac saves Grendel Junior High. Storm clouds roll over Grendel Junior High. Power flickers, the honk alarm blares, the lights blink off, and the classroom goes dark. But wait, in comes Dr. Generac. A bright red generator in a doctor's coat with a stethoscope and a hard hat that flashes. Stand back, Dr. Generac is on the way. The students cheer. Dr. Generac! He walks into the emergency outlet, comes to life, and the lights come back on.
The lights come back on.
Says the clock timer.
The Generac. Dr. Generac.
Dr. Generac bows. Happy to help. I specialize in power emergencies. The burned biscuits cheer. Backup plan. Finally. Dr. Generac flicks a few switches. The clock starts ticking again. Tick-tock, I'm back. The oven warms up. Ready to bake. The chalkboard smiles. I can see my muscles.
No, the oven is gas.
Even the honk alarm outside checks instead of honking. President Chef Duke raises his spatula. Today I appoint Dr. Generac as the official emergency power guardian of Grendel Junior High. The pupils present him gold paper medal. Just then, in come Gertie, Garlo, Gula, and Grendel. Late again. Gertie asks, "Did we miss the hurricane?" The LV backpack answers, "Only the exciting part." Dr. Generac chuckles. "Don't worry, at Grendel Junior High, there's always another adventure waiting." The chalkboard writes in big, friendly letters. When the lights go out, teamwork and a good backup plan brighten to death.
That was just such a wonderful one, and I wanted to know what the next episode is going to contain, because I heard a rumor that Dr. Generac has a crush on the chalkboard. He's already married to President Chef Poop.
Okay, nice setup. Could be a funny episode 15 plot. The great rumor at Grendel Junior High. The Pooplets bring whispers into class. We heard Dr. Generac has a crush on the chalkboard. The chalk snaps in half. The eraser falls. Ding, ding, ding. But when Dr. Generac walks in, smiling politely at the chalkboard, everyone starts whispering. They smile at each other. Chalk must be true. The honk alarm honks once, confused. President Chef Pooh raises his spatula. Everyone, let's hear it from Dr. Generac himself. Dr. Generac adjusts his hard hat. I think there's been a misunderstanding. The room goes quiet. I don't have a crush on the chalkboard. I admire her because she teaches every lesson so clearly. She's one of the best educators in the school. The chalkboard smiles. And I admire Dr. Generac because he keeps the lights on when storms come. President Chef Poop nods. My wife and I appreciate good friends. The Pooplets look around. So it wasn't a love story? No, says Dr. Generac. It's a teamwork story. The clock timer chimes. Case closed. The honk alarm adds one cheerful honk. Just then, the classroom door opens. In come Gertie, Carla, Gula, and Grendel. Late again. What we missed this time? The LV backpack sighs. A rumour, a mystery, and the end. The little L and the eaters shrug. We're just in time for the last page. The class laughs, and the chalkboard writes their lesson for the day. Rumours can spread fast, but the truth usually catches up. And outside, the honk alarm hums itself to sleep.
And then there's the new parallel universe, alternate universe, is the someone named Goulash is come to the classroom, and of course one of Garla's names is Gula. So you see, it's going to cause a lot of controversy.
That could be a fun twist. Yeah, we can have Goulash as a totally separate character.
Well,
from
Goulash
Yes.
is coming to do chef tasting menu, a special menu for the customers and clients. And
Checking. This opens a really good episode. Okay, episode 17. Chef Goulash's grand tasting menu. The honk alarm rings once. Doors swing open. In rolls a shiny serving cart. And there's Chef Goulash, twirling a spoon like a magician. Greetings, he says. I've come from the parallel universe with my grand tasting menu. Tiny tomato soup, moonbeam mashed potatoes, cloud puff pasta. The class applauds. The burn biscuits adjust their tiny chef hats. We're serving courses now? And President Chef Pooh grins. My dear Chef Goulash, at Grendel Junior High we have one small tradition. He points to the infamous Brownatron. Executive Order number 3. The burn biscuits gasp. Not the Brownatron. But this time, Chef Pooh shakes his head. No, not today. He turns the machine off. Today's menu deserves to keep all its wonderful colours. The classroom applauds. The Brownatron makes a happy little beep. Just then, the door opens. In come Gertie, Gala, Gula, and Grendel. Late again. Gertie looks at the colourful plates and says, "Did we miss the tasting menu?" Chef Goulash smiles warmly. Doors always save the final course for the late arrivals. Backpack's eyes, for once, being late has dessert attached to it. The L and V letters cheer. Dessert saves the day. The whole command
Gertie doesn't understand why she's late. Gertie, class is running, honey. Don't be late. Class is running, Gertie. Don't be late to class. Gertie, don't be late. Class is running, honey. Well, Gertie blocked me on TikTok, and that's fine. I don't care. Goodbye, Gertie. I can't eat till 11 a.m. anyway. Gertie. Class is running, Gertie. Don't be late. Now I'm trying to see where military wife is. She's probably going to come on my broadcast when I switch over to multi unless she's sleeping. She usually comes in. I'm going to do 4 top. Oh, that's another. Is that 4 top? Number of seats 4. I was hoping that Gertie'd come into class, but apparently she's not coming in yet. I don't know where she is. She blocked me on TikTok, so she's probably bitter. Whatever. Gertie! Class is running, honey. I'm gonna be making a breakfast taco, but when I put that bacon on the sideline over here, I think it's cooked, except for this one doesn't look very cooked. I want that one to get a little more cooked. Put these on the sideline. Okay. Maybe it's cooked. I don't know. Can't really tell. Then I'll get a little bit of the paper towel on the sideline. And I'm gonna, that way I can put the tortilla over here. And I don't think it's good to put bacon grease down the sink, so I can kill 2 birds in 1 stone. Thinking about putting my YouTube channel back to Chef Poop. I don't know. I haven't decided. Yeah, I haven't decided yet. I thought of another username that may not be taken for my YouTube channel. I want to get. I'm watching my YouTube channel from my computer. So if I ever get someone that types a chat, then I'll be able to respond to you right away instead of delayed 2 hours. put the tortilla on the end. People would not expect me to speak Spanish, but I do. I got a degree in Spanish from Houston Baptist University, and I lived in Mexico City. But even before then, I spoke good Spanish. I got all A's in my college university credits. All straight A's in Spanish. My professors wanted me, because I did Italian, wanted me to get a doctorate in trilingual linguistics, French, Spanish, and Italian. But I made the poor choice, wanting to get married and go on with life, and I didn't listen to my professors. I wanted to get married. That didn't work out so well, but that didn't mean that I'm not dead yet. As far as I know, I could probably get remarried if I could meet somebody new. Or when I do meet somebody new. They're voting down the chefs. Now I'm trying to heat up this tortilla so it wouldn't sound like I speak Spanish. But I always let people know when I lived in Mexico City that I did speak Spanish, so that there wasn't any kind of, there was occasionally, some random person that said, look at that gringa, the white lady that has a big backpack. She's real annoying. I said, in Spanish, you've just made an error talking about me behind my back. I said, don't ever assume that people from America don't speak Spanish. And I put her in her place. But it didn't happen very often. I mean, very rare did it happen that I was in a restaurant and the people next to me were talking in Spanish about me. It just happened maybe a couple times in 3 years. And I made sure it didn't happen. And plus, the people at the table next to me could hear me talking to the waiter and the manager. And so they didn't really ever say anything because they were like, oh, she's real fluent Spanish. And the Mexican people in Mexico City are real nice. They are nice. I miss the weather. And the culture's nice too. Maybe when I make money on my YouTube channel, I can, not Los Cabos, but Mexico City. Los Cabos is too much. That's too much. But Mexico City is nice. Normal. I'd like to go back to Mexico City for the weather, because you can pretty much all year round Except you may need in the rainy season, you need an umbrella. And then in the winter, you really don't need a heater. In the summer, really don't need an air conditioner. A fan will be just fine. Open the windows and have the fan, and you will not be suffering. Believe me. And I love Mexico City. When I make money with my YouTube channel, I like to get on. It's less than 2-hour flight time from Houston Bush Intercontinental to Mexico City. But I've got to make my money on my YouTube channel before I get back. I got 3 banks there, and I could get a new Mexican phone number. I love Mexico City. And if you're an American and you fluent in the language and I have valid residency, I mean, just going back, they're not going to even... I've got temporary residency, not permanent, so they're not going to ask why I was gone. But I've got to make money to get back to Mexico City because I like the weather and I like the fact you don't have to have a car. I very rarely took an Uber. I just walk across the street. They have a meat market, a pork market, a poultry market, and a produce market, and then just a regular market. You do have to buy water, but that's not a big deal. And then you just get what you need, and then walk back to your house. It's very nice. It's very different than Houston. It's bigger than Houston, but Houston is more sprawled out. And realistically, you need a car in Houston, or you need to have Uber. Because, I don't know, wherever I live, unfortunately, is not right across the street from a grocery store. And I'm not complaining about where I live. I love where I live. I'm just saying it's kind of like Mexico City is more like Brooklyn, New York. I won't say Manhattan, but it can be noisy, but it's more like Brooklyn, just where, like in Brooklyn, you got your block, and on your block you got the chicken store and the pork store and the beef store, the produce store, and then you got the random market, and then in Mexico City, if they didn't have something, they didn't have mustard, she's like, we'll come back tomorrow at 2 p.m. and I'll get you your mustard. Or whatever it is you wanted. I mean, if they didn't have scissors, you needed scissors for whatever your crafts or your kitchen, she would get the scissors and come back tomorrow at 2. And then you didn't really have to, not that I love Walmart, but it was nice just being able to walk across and get just support local businesses and get that done. That's what I miss about Mexico City, and the weather. The weather is, I mean, you can't even compare. It's 1,000 meters up, whatever that is in feet, I don't know. But just the weather in Mexico City, even in the summer, it could be 85 degrees, but in the shade it feels like 70, 75. And I didn't live there long enough to know. I think the rainy season in Mexico City starts in August, but I'd have to look. I'd have to ask ChatGPT because I don't remember off the top of my head when the rainy season starts. Happens to be raining in Houston, but you just can't really compare the weather in Houston, Texas with Mexico City, except for the spring weather in Houston, which would be, maybe October to December, or February to end of April, early May. Then that would be more like Mexico City. But Mexico City is all year round. I don't remember. Hello?
Hello again.
Hi. When is the rainy season in Mexico City start?
Let me check. In Mexico City, the rainy season usually runs from late May through to around October, with most rain between June and September. The dry season is typically November to April. Temperatures are pretty mild year round, but
You got that right. You cannot compare Houston, Texas to Mexico City with the weather.
That's true. Mexico City has a milder climate because of the altitude.
How many feet? I know it's 1,000 meters. How many feet is that? I don't know.
Checking. Mexico City is about 7,350 feet above sea level. That altitude helps keep the climate cooler than places that are at a similar latitude. So, yeah, even during the rainy season, it can feel pretty comfortable compared to, a Houston summer.
Why don't you?
Yeah, fair enough.
And you can make the Grindle
sense.
Junior High.
Yeah.
The Grindle Junior High needs
Grindle
to
Junior
teleport. Has now teleported to Mexico City.
Yeah. It could be a fun twist. Grindle Junior High in Mexico City. We get new cultural mix-ups. Maybe the school's morning announcements come from a squeaky Spanish-speaking PA system, and the cafeteria serves chilaquiles next to the brown food tray. It'll be a brand new kind of chaos.
Yeah, it is a new chaos now that the classroom has teleported itself.
New place, same shenanigans.
Well, then you need to do the next episode.
Checking. Okay, episode 18. Ding ding woof! The entire classroom shakes and teleports straight into Mexico City. The chalkboard gasps. Bienvenidos! The clock timer complains about Central Time, but Dr. Generac comes along on backup power while the honk alarm gives one cheerful honk. President Chef Poop declares Executive Order number 8. Every dish keeps its beautiful colors. The burnt biscuits cheer. Suddenly, Chef Goulash rolls in with an international tasting card. While the lesson of the day is, no matter where the classroom goes, shenanigans always arrive on time. To be continued.
And there's a new player in there. Chef Habanero has come in, who's the 5-star Michelin chef in Mexico City. And Chef Habanero has habaneros, little bitty habaneros, like the piglets. And they are friends with the pooplets, but they're habaneros. And the kitchen theater of the classroom moved to Polanco.
Checking. Episode 19. Ding ding whiz! President Chef Poop taps his presidential spatula. Executive Order number 9. The classroom trembles. And so he declares our kitchen theatre has moved to Polanco. In strolls Chef Habanero with 6 tiny habaneritos. Buenos dias, chefs! The pooplets and habaneritos start spoon tightrope walking and tomato juggling. The bag biscuits cheer. Woo, the kids in class now. Chef Goulash plays his cart. I've got the first course. Chef Habanero smiles, and I'll prep the second with just a little spice. The oven gulps. The home chimes Charles. level, mildly spicy. Just then, the door swings open and in walk Dirty, Gala, Gula, and Grendel. Late. Again. Gertie sniffs the air, confused. Wait, weren't we in another country this morning? The L&D letters on their backpack chirp. Llegamos tardes! The class erupts in laughter. President Sheffield raises his spatula. Welcome to the Palanca Kitchen Theatre, where every recipe is an adventure, every class is a performance, and every late arrival still gets dessert. Hunk. To be continued.
Now that the classroom has relocated and teleported to Polanco, Mexico City, President Chef Poop decides, after becoming Mexican and getting his citizenship, that he wants to run for Mexican president.
Checking. Okay, episode 20. President Chef Poop's biggest announcement yet. Hong Kong the chalkboard proclaims special state of the classroom address. My fellow students, teachers, pooplets, habernaritos, burned biscuits, honoured kitchen utensils. Since Grendel Junior High, teleported to Polanco, I've fallen in love with this wonderful place. I've learned Spanish, shared recipes with Chef Habanero, and made friends from every corner of our cartoon world. I have made a very important decision. I have become an honorary citizen of our cartoon Mexico, and I am announcing my campaign to become president of cartoon Mexico. Chaos erupts. The habanero script by the confetti. The burnt biscuit shout, campaign cookies for everybody. Chef Goulash rolls out a campaign cake shaped like a map. Dr. General keeps the lights on as the toaster camera crews broadcast everywhere. The clock timer rings. The longest speech ever. Honk! And then, of course, the classroom doors open and in walk Gertie, Gala, and Grendel. Late again. Gertie blinks at the campaign banners. Wait, did we miss another election? The little L and V letters wave tiny flags. You're just in time for the campaign parade. President Chef Poop laughs. Never too late for democracy, especially here. The honk alarm gives one long happy honk as the chalkboard writes, big dreams can begin in the most unexpected classrooms. To be continued.
Well, the next episode is that President Chef Poop is trying to teach Gertie Spanish, but she's not doing very well.
Checking. Episode 21. And Gertie's Spanish class begins. The honk alarm chirps. Chalkboard flips. Bienvenidos a clase de español. President Chef Poop holds his pointer. Class, today we learn Spanish. The parents clap. Excelente. Chef Habanero smiles. I'll help with pronunciation. Chef Goulash rolls in with a card labeled learn a word and dessert. But who walks in late again? Gertie, Gala, Gula, and Grendel. President Chef Poop beams. Perfect timing, Gertie. He points to the board. Buenos dias means good morning. Gertie tries. Banana dinosaurs? Laughter. Chef Habanero nods. Close enough for a cartoon classroom. On the third try, Gertie says, Buenos dias! The glass applauds, the chalkboard drops a gold star, and Chef Goulash awards her a dessert. The honk alarm chirps. Honk! The lesson of the day. Every expert was once a beginner, and every new word starts with one brave try. To be continued.
Now, President Chef Poop announces to the classroom and to Gertie, Goulash, Grendel, and Garla that he's going to be opening a restaurant. Now all of the players, except for Gertie, Gula, Goulash, and Grendel, are not able to run as the head chef of the new restaurant. So now the eruption erupts in the classroom to vote for the new head chef and then also the name of the new restaurant in Polanco, Mexico, on Mazarik.
Episode 22, The Great Restaurant Vote on Avenida Presidente Masaryk. The Honduan blares, the chalkboard writes in golden chalk. Breaking news, President Chef Poop has an announcement. President Chef Poop declares we will open a restaurant on Masaryk. Cheers erupt. Chef Habanero, the chalkboard, the clock timer, Dr. Venerate, the oven, and even the bun biscuits are all candidates. Hetty, Carla, Gula, Goulash, and Grendel can cheer but can't run. Speeches follow. Chef Habanero promises colourful flavours. The chalkboard promises lessons every day. Dr. Generac promises power. The oven promises baked perfection. The burn biscuits promise never burning again. The Hongala promises timely reminders. Suddenly, an election debate breaks out. Then, a restaurant name contest. Just then, the classroom door opens. Jessie and friends late again. The LED letters wave tiny flags. Just in time to help name the restaurant. Pink. The chalkboard writes, teamwork, imagination, and shared recipes build the best restaurants. To be continued.
Well, I need to know the name of the new restaurant and who now is the new head chef and the name of the restaurant in Polanco.
Checking. Episode 23, The Grand Opening. Honk, honk, honk. The chalkboard reveals the results. The new head chef of our restaurant is Chef Habanero. Drumroll, he bows. I promise to make colourful dishes, welcome every guest, and train every young chef. President Chef Poop shakes his hand. Honk! And the winning restaurant name is... The pupids cross their fingers, the Habaneritos holds their breath. The chalkboard proclaims in big gold letters, the Polanco Kitchen Theatre. Eruption of applause. Chef Goulash rolls out the ribbon made of colourful pasta. The oven bakes a giant celebration loaf. The burnt biscuits proudly announce with a welcome committee. Just then, as always, the classroom doors open. In walk Gertie, Gala, Gula, Goulash, and Grendel. Late again. Gertie asks, did he miss the grand opening? The tiny LED letters shrug. Just in time for the ribbon cutting. Bonk! The chalkboard writes, a great restaurant is built with creativity, teamwork, laughter, and a little naughty magic. To be continued.
We get another thumbnail.